What is up, guys? Welcome back to another review. Today we have the Amazing Spider-Man from Mafex number 248, and of course, it's Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man here, making a return from the second movie suit, and I'm super excited to review this figure. This is long overdue. I've had this figure for like a month and a half, almost actually 2 months maybe now, and man, I've been super excited to review him. So let's get straight into it. Here is the box that I just showed you, and he looks great. Okay, just like first impressions, just looking at the suit, looking at the textures, look great so far. Just from the box, right? We're gonna get him unboxed, and we're gonna see what this figure is really about. Okay, so this is the second live-action Spider-Man. Well, actually, this is the third live-action Spider-Man they've done. They've done so far Tom Holland. They have done their Toby. And they have done Andrew. And this is the last that they needed to do. But now they're doing Final Swing Tom Holland, which is coming out. Should have been coming out around this time. A lot of Mafexes are getting delayed right now, so that's one thing. But anyways, back on topic. Here we're going to get a first look at the figure. Straight out the box. Let's see. So this is the figure. This is the very first look that we get at the figure, right? Honestly, I'm impressed. I am impressed. I like it. I think it looks great. It looks fantastic. I really like the body textures. In person, like, it looks so good. Looking really nice there. Clean head sculpt. I wish the lenses were better. The head sculpt obviously could have been better, but I think for what we got, still pretty decent, right? If you want, you can get a custom head sculpt from Rule as well. Get the back, looking great. Logo, super accurate. Similar feet to Toby. Similar diaper piece to Toby. Which is all really good. It's good that they're taking from Toby's figure, because Toby's figure, articulation-wise, was phenomenal. So this is what we are expecting from Andrew, right? Great articulation. Let's get into the articulation, right? Have the double joint, goes above 90 degrees. Have the bicep swivel. Have butterfly joints that go very well. These are one of the best butterfly joints I've seen from Mafex, as you can see there. Got the ab crunch. Well, this is the ab, and then this is with the lower hip. Well, not lower hip, but you know what I mean. Side by side. Pretty good range. Actually, really good range, and it's super smooth as well. Head movement. Oh, kind of see the head's a little stiff there, and head's a little stiff there. So going up, going down, so great range there. Side to side movement as well. You have the drop down legs with the soft plastic diaper. I think Toby had more range, to be honest, in the legs there. We do also see a gap right here, which is weird. I wonder if no, look, there's a gap right there. Obviously you can cover it up, but like if you tilt it downwards, you see that gap right there. Interesting. Very interesting. Probably because he's a skinnier build, but clear gap. So that's something I'm not a fan of on this figure so far. It's that gap right there, but when you have him posed up like this, you don't really see it. We have the double jointed knees with good range there. We should have great, ankle movement as well. Up and down. A little getting like, it feels a little loose. It's not quite loose, if that makes sense. And that's the articulation of this bad boy, right? I'm pretty sure I covered majority of the points of articulation. If you want to see the butterfly joints going back, you got that there. Great range. Overall, looking like a solid release from Mafex. I'm just like, this is just bothering me so much right here. I'm sorry, it really is bothering me a lot. I think when I went down for the articulation, I might have stretched the diaper out a little bit. That's probably what it was. But it's soft plastic, so you can probably squeeze it back into place, right? But then I guess I would just be careful here if you're gonna do ab crunch, ab articulation. Make sure you don't stretch the diaper out too much, so that it doesn't look too gapish there. but maybe that's just how the figure is, you know. Maybe I just gotta do something like that, I guess. Anyways, let's just keep going. Now for the accessories, I mean, we covered majority of the articulation pretty easily. I do see like a paint chip right here. You might not, yeah, you can probably see it right there. So that is definitely a concern. Sucks, right? It sucks, but it's not too bad. So that's something I'm gonna complain about. But definitely it does suck to see a paint chip on the soft plastic. Anyways, next we have all the accessories. You have 8 pairs of hands, extra feet, head sculpt, mask, webs. So here are the magnetic feet. Really nice detail on the bottom of the feet. We got the flipping hands, pointer fingers. We got the web holding hands. We have the magnetic open hands. We have the regular open hands. I think these are for holding the accessory he comes with, maybe. If he even comes with one, but I don't know. These are like holding hands, I guess. Normal holding hands. Random open hands, I guess. There's a paint like smudge here. We have the unmasked, where he's holding the mask. Pretty nice detail on this mask. And the unmasked head sculpt, which I'm honestly not a fan of. I think they could have done better on this head sculpt, but you can see the likeness. At least he doesn't look terrible, but it lacks a lot of detail on this head sculpt. You got the likeness, but you don't got it right. And I think a lot of the head sculpts that are coming out from Mafex don't got it right. In terms of the webs, it's pretty standard, so I don't really want to show you all the webs all over again. I do this in every single Spider-Man review. But you got the small webs, the medium webs, and then you have the holding webs. Pretty standard, simple webs. Been in like pretty much all of the live action releases, and I think these and Tobey's webs should be pretty similar because I'm pretty sure they would reuse the same webs. Now for a size comparison between these figures, Tobey is a little bit shorter than Andrew. As you can see, Tobey actually doesn't have his original head sculpt on. He has the custom Faru head sculpt that looks phenomenal, but we're not going to talk about it because it's not part of the review, even though the lens came out as soon as I got it. Anyways, but you see that beautiful head sculpt on the right of Tobey, and in the middle you got Andrew, and on the left you got the classic 185 from Mafex. And as you can see, I think Andrew is about the tallest here. Maybe 185 could be considered a little taller or like around the same height, but Tobey is definitely a little bit shorter for sure. Definitely on the shorter side here. And I wonder how Tom is going to scale, at least the final swing one. But this is a pretty decent scale here. They did a pretty good job. I love the scale. I think maybe Andrew's a little too muscular. I mean, I feel like when I picture Andrew, he's skinnier than Tobey. Tobey's a little bit bigger. And then Tom being the shortest and the youngest of them. So yeah, Andrew is definitely muscular here, the tallest. And if not, probably around the same height as 185. I mean, honestly, they're all pretty close in height. But Tobey, I feel like, is slightly smaller. It remains to be seen how they're going to scale the final swing for Tom Holland with the way that these figures look. But honestly, I think this is a great figure. I'm not a big Andrew fan. I like Andrew, but I don't hate him. I don't love him. It's kind of just like whatever with Andrew. So for me, I'm not really like too crazy about this figure, but I'm also like not like whatever with this figure. I'm excited to add him to my collection. I needed the trio from Mafex, and honestly, he lives up to the expectations that I had for him. Probably could have done better with the unmasked and the masked head sculpt. That's personal preference for you guys, and for me, I think they could have done a better job. I think they could have done a better job for a lot of head sculpts personally for Mafex. I think Mafex, like I said previously, is slacking with the head sculpts right now. But this is a solid release. I'd give him maybe a few points lower than Tobey. I'd probably put Tobey at an 8.5 or a 9, and Andrew at like an 8. You know, it's like slightly less than Tobey. Tobey definitely is a way better figure in my opinion. Had no issues with the Tobey, had no paint rub, no paint chip, and yeah, that's just me though. I enjoy Toby more. I might be biased because I like Toby more. It's not the point of this review. The point is, he's a solid figure. He might have his flaws, but he's still great. I think this figure is pretty similar to the Toby, where it's like you got to see it in person in order to like it. But the camera doesn't do it justice. Literally exactly like Toby. Remember when Toby came out, everybody was hating on it. Nobody was buying it. Everybody was low-key boycotting the figure because they were like, oh, this figure looks buns on camera. It's too shiny. It's too this. And yeah, it is a little shiny. But the camera makes it look shinier. And I think here, this figure looks great. Camera, like I said, does not do it justice. But where I do have a complaint is in the accessories. Toby had an additional pair of hands. Toby had 2 unmasked head sculpts. Toby had a portal. Andrew comes with nothing. They could have gave Andrew, like, you know, some of the soft goods that he uses in the movie, even if it's joggers. They could have gave him like a web around the pothole thing on the floor, whatever that thing is called, like the sewer thing. Bro, they gave this guy nothing. They gave him webs, an unmasked, and that mask where he can hold it. That's it. Really, there was no effort in terms of like giving him personality. Nothing. Toby had the portal, which was cool because when we saw Toby go through that portal, it was like, all right, that's fire. And then he gets like the waving hand. Andrew gets nothing. Andrew doesn't even get a portal. I know this figure is based off of his second movie, which is why I'm kind of confused why they didn't give him more. They could have given him electricity to make him look like he's being shocked. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I think that's where, you know, I'm like, come on now. Compared to the Toby, we got way more with Toby. We got a better looking figure with Toby. And Toby really just caught me by surprise, honestly. So I think in terms of like comparing it to Toby, it is a step down in a lot of areas. But also, I think the textures on the blue are a lot better here than on the Toby. Is it amazing like how I reacted to the Toby? No. Is it a solid release? Yes. And again, it all goes to personal preference. People like comparing it to the SHF. See, if I had the SHF still, I would have definitely chose this figure over the SHF. So if you're deciding, should I go SHF or should I go Mafex? Personally, I would recommend the Mafex. SHF has way more paint chipping than the Mafex does. Yeah, I had like a little red on the back. But like, bro, the SHF is so bad in my opinion. The paint chipping is horrendous. Like around the neck, around the butterfly joint. Like it is just awful. I posed him like maybe one time. And it was just paint chips everywhere. I was like, bro, I don't even want this anymore. Like, this thing's literally paint chipping like crazy. Not only is the paint chipping bad, I think the proportions are terrible on that figure. It makes him look unrealistic. His head looks like a small, like, peanut. And then, like, he's, like, way too skinny. Way too skinny. Like, not skinny to the point where I was saying, like, you know, this figure should be a little bit slimmer. Like, no, he literally just is, like, doesn't even look like Andrew type of skinny. And then, I don't know. Like I said, his proportions are weird. He doesn't really look human. He looks... I don't know, bro. His proportions are off, right? So here I think you get a figure that actually looks like a human being with proper proportions, you know, less QC, great articulation, better articulation than the SHF because the SHF has terrible butterfly joints. I thought the SHF had a bad ab crunch. Here you get way more articulation. It's a softer plastic, so it's easier to, like, you know, bend, put back into place. Nothing is loose so far besides like the feet being a little wobbly. You know, in comparison, I think the Mafex wins. Solid release. I enjoyed this figure. I like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know your thoughts. And let me know if you picked them up. Let me know what you think about this Andrew. Let me know what you think about the Toby. Does it compare to the Toby? Are you excited to get this figure? Do you already have this figure? I know this review's already out. I think after Andrew might have been sold out or not. He might still be up. If he is, I'll leave a link in the description. But if not, let me know your thoughts on this figure. And again, thank you guys so much for watching my reviews. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to be dropping more reviews. I am so, like, pushed back on my reviews. I still got to do Hush, Soldier Boy, Deadpool, Joker. Like, I got a whole bunch of reviews coming, guys. So hopefully I'll be able to get to them as quickly as possible. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.